All right. It's a long name.
She gonna complain about it? Should we tell her?
No, I'm sure she knows.
Kira, your last name is very long.
Trust me, I know. It was a spelling bee word when I was in
All right, well, with that, let's tell everybody who is here. Hello, Mrs. Ryan. How are
Hello.
you? Welcome back, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019. Holy smokes, May 22nd.
That's crazy.
That's amazing to me for a lot of reasons we'll talk about in just a minute. But our guest today, oh, wait, hang on. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's Show. Our guest this evening is comedian KIRA SOLTANOVICH, and I'm really excited about it for a lot of reasons. But the date just threw me off a little bit because this is the day that Johnny Carson retired. I mean, 27 years ago.
Oh.
But May 22nd was the last Johnny Carson
All
Tonight
right.
Show.
Well, here we go.
Does anybody even know who I'm talking about anymore?
I
I made a Dick Cavett reference just before the show, and I was thinking to myself, boy, that you are old, mister.
Yeah, even I didn't quite get that. I know the name, but I couldn't visualize.
You know
it.
him from Beetlejuice. Delia, you're a flake. You've always been a flake.
I love
famous
that
talk
guy.
show host back in the day. Mrs. Ryan, what do we have to get to today? I've got some stuff to work through, and then as far as talking points, we were supposed to be here yesterday, everybody, and we had a guest who. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say about this. I feel like our whole thing is authenticity, so we may as well just talk about it.
Yeah.
We had a guy reach out to us a while ago to be a guest, and we said we looked at who he was, and his name is Bart Kukin. I don't know how to say his last name, but he wrote the Flat Six Love Affair, the Porsche book, and the whole bit. And he's very big in our community and the whole deal. But the reason I'm telling you all this is we didn't go after him. Okay. Getting him in here after he wanted to be here has been a hassle and a half. We've changed the dates a few times, and we were booked for yesterday, and then I don't know. He's on the
out
our
of
group
town.
Treffen trip or whatever, and apparently that whatever. I don't know. Bart, if you still want to come here, by all means, we'd love to have you. But enough of the rigmarole. Either come here or don't.
Pick a date
It's all
and
good.
keep the date.
All good. We love you, buddy. Love to meet you. Love to talk all about your book. On the topic of Porsche, Mrs. Ryan, I have a backstage pass from Mr.
yeah?
Ray Schaefer.
All
Shall
right.
we?
Yes, please.
I know. I wanted to play it during the Bart car episode, but it's all right.
Yeah, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to check in with Mr. Ray Schaefer, go backstage, and see where he is today. Roll it out.
Well, good morning, Jay, Nicole, in the box dress, back in Atlanta, week after luftgekuhlt, heading out to Birmingham today. Barber Motorsport Park, we're going to see the historic races at that track. It's such a beautiful track. Just love it out there. And as you can see, it's a beautiful day to be driving out. So just wanted to say thanks for everything last week while we were in LA for luftgekuhlt. What an amazing show. Pat, Jeff, Howie, team, amazing. Wonderfully done. And Jay and Nicole, so wonderful to spend time with you and Tori and Nicholas the Friday before the show for the taping. Really enjoyed that. Also wanted to say thanks to everybody who waited in line at the Porsche Classic Genuine Service Station across from the Back to the Future clock tower. What a location that was. I had heard some people refer to the books that we were giving away, the Originale issue number 4s with the commemorative wax stamp, as books that we normally sell for $50 to $60. But the fact is, those are complimentary and your authorized Porsche Classic partner or your authorized Porsche dealer. So just stop by and pick one up. They won't have the commemorative stamp, of course, but you can read about all the great stuff happening at Porsche Classic. So that's a word from our sponsor. Let's get to the track and see what's going on out there today. course, Barber Motorsports Park is also home of the Porsche driving experience. So if you go on PorscheDriving.com, you can select an opportunity to come out here to beautiful Birmingham, Alabama, Barber Motorsports Park, and try one of these few Porsches that they have here. Come check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, what a guy. I love that. And I hear that's part 1 of 2 as well.
Oh.
So, in the meantime, Mrs. Ryan, oh my goodness, let me get this here. If not already, please consider following Ray Schaefer for your backstage pass to all things Porsche Classic, brand heritage, and travel-related material. That's Ray.Schaefer, S-H-A-F-F-E-R. We love you, Ray Schaefer. Oh, that's so fun. Mrs. Ryan, I've got a whole bunch of East Coast feeds to get through, but let's not do them today. Let's do it tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll see where those guys have been because they were in town as well for the luftgekuhlt show. So there's a lot of LA stuff. We'll just dump it all into tomorrow if that's all right.
Okay. See what's
'Cause
going
I'd like
on.
to get our guest in here. In the meantime, that brings us up to the question that's on everyone's mind, Mrs. Ryan. What's going on?
Resting after learning is something that helps kind of lock in the newly acquired information. This used to be common knowledge in colleges and when we were cramming for tests and stuff.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, good.
The teachers used to be like, well, I mean, some teachers would be like, take a break, go outside. And other ones were like, keep studying, you're not studying, and whatever, mixed messages. But this new study shows that, like, even simple things, like when you're retraining your brain, like how to walk, how to do whatever, take a break after you've tried stuff out and let your brain kind of integrate the information on its own.
I know we talk about this all the time, but the mental processes take a lot of energy. And even though it's not the same as doing the stairs or doing the treadmill or, going to the gym or whatever, there is still a fatigue that occurs because you're still burning energy. You still get hungry after a good, think tank. It's all kind of the same. So this makes perfect sense.
Yeah. The study goes...
Stop for a second and let it sink in.
The study looks at different brain waves, and like there's a bazillion, but like they follow it mostly into 2 camps, like focused and they call it focused and diffused. So like when you're focused on something, that's one pathway, and your brain is doing other stuff all the time, no matter what. It's just not as like, what are you doing? If you ask your brain what's it doing, like it might not tell you what you're doing. It's like thinking of something else, but it's helping to integrate information. So. Different ways of looking at things.
Pretty wild.
The U.S. Postal Service is trying out automated vehicles between Phoenix and Dallas. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but they're doing it in a smart way where they're doing it with drivers
Sounds
that
like
are
long haul, not like not end of point delivery or whatever. Not to the house, right? This is like
between
long haul.
postal service, like USPS services.
Probably a semi or something.
Yeah, it looks like a huge truck from everything I've read, but they've got a driver there, and what they're exploring ways of utilizing automated cars and vehicles, which makes sense to me. But look out if you're on the road in Phoenix and Dallas. It's a 2-week trial.
It's a weird future we're living in, isn't it?
Oh, it's bananas.
It's weird. It's all at the same time.
Yeah, it's all happening. Not so. Okay, lastly, a Harvard study broke down the pieces of what they're calling one of the most common unaware pieces of small talk. Caught my attention. But like me, they found it to be kind of antiquated. The how are you?
Oh, yeah.
Of like
that's how
small
this segment
talk.
got started, right? Because you don't like how are you and what's going on and all that stuff. What's going on? Da, 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 da.
Their reasoning is that the person asking doesn't really want to know, and the person answering isn't usually honest. So it becomes
It's
a
bullshit. It's just
meaningless
bullshit.
exchange,
Right.
which is my issue with it. So
Noise pollution, really.
Totally. So they're suggesting, and this is coming from Harvard, so it's like people, like smart people want to they want to connect with people, want to connect. So the asking of how are you, it seems like an obvious, like superficial way to do that. But like the real way to do it is to ask a curious question, an authentically curious question. So have a gander. Just think about what you're asking.
Do you have an example of what an authentic?
What are you working on?
Oh, I see. Something that has a genuine, like a real, actual, concrete answer versus something that's just your opinion. I gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that's
Way to do
been.
it. That's what's going on.
Hey, and that's been what's going on. All right, Mrs. Ryan, good job. Let us take a quick break.
Already.
Get our guest Kira in here. She's going to be sitting in that chair when we get back. KIRA Soltanovich right after this. Be right back. More to come.
Can't wait.
Get this. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we are. Oh, jeez, I turned the bubbles. I don't want that. I want bubbles.
I want bubbles.
Got all the old buttons. Well, gosh, with that, we're sitting here with
Here we
KIRA
are.
Soltanovich.
I have
Do you care?
no idea.
Do you care
Oh
at
my
all? Because I
gosh.
realized that I used pretty much 3 different versions as we cook the show up here.
I do care when it's said so blatantly, like with complete disregard to consonants and vowels and just the English language. Even though it's not an
We're
English
not
word.
trying to do that.
Right. It's Soltanovich, but if
Okay.
you want to be like super Soviet, it's
Now's the time.
Soltanovich. Yeah, we're back. It's exciting. It's like
Don't you feel
Rocky
good?
4 all over again.
We can do it
I
again.
love being the bad guy. I love it. Look, any publicity is good publicity, right?
No.
What? Okay. Everything I learned is wrong.
Correct.
I thought it was awesome. Like, I go around just hacking my kid's PTA election. I'm like, hacked. I just hack everywhere I go now. I'm hacking elections.
Simply by touching things, you're
Union
hacking it?
elections. That's how we Russians work.
Wow.
We just Harry Potter it. Psst.
All you need to do is change the opinion just a little bit, and you've
Yeah.
hacked it.
Yep, it's
Moving
easy.
the needle. Mm-hmm. So you hit the T. KIRA Soltanovich.
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 Think of your soul. Right?
Soltanovich,
Right? We
sure.
all have one.
Yes, indeed.
Even in Hollywood, everyone has one. And Tonovich.
Especially when you self-produce.
Well, I had a woman ask me to change my last name, and she was very earnest when she said this. She's like, I really cannot stress. I really feel like you need to change your last name.
What?
And I said, what about like John Malkovich or Aaron Brockovich. And she said, well, they're famous.
Oh, rude.
But they didn't come out of the womb that
Not
way.
that
That's
way.
not how,
Yeah, isn't
you know,
it-
like
wasn't it her
John
job to make you?
Malkovich. Like he didn't just was born and was like, you know, we're going to, ooh, this
he
is
was a
gonna be
weirdo for a
star.
long time.
We're all weirdos. And so I told her, I go, I'm not going to change it because anything I change it to will sound, it'll just sound fake for me. You know what I mean? It'll just,
It's not going to fit
it's
you.
not going to look at my profile and my eyebrows touch and all of this is a mess.
We have a friend who's in here, Michael Senderovitch.
Yeah.
Senderovitch, but he hits the ovich. Make sure he hits the ovich. It's really
Really?
important. That's what you hit the ovich.
Second syllable all the way.
No, that one I would change. That's a mess.
He's not famous either.
Well, see, yeah, you gotta do something about that.
All right, well, you're here. I'm really delighted that you're here. I'm really glad you're here.
Me
The
too.
last person who sat in that in that chair was Sam Tripoli, our guest
Yes.
last week, who
And you
ended
guys-
his segment with a story about you. when I was
You
reading,
know he has
next
syphilis,
week.
right? You guys didn't want to change this out or
No,
put like a.
we did. We covered it
Okay,
when he
good.
was here.
He had a story about me. Yes.
And it was
We-
you guys were on stage together doing a bit, but I didn't realize it was as long ago as
It
you made it sound.
Was 2 decades ago. It was so long ago. We were children. And I was new to LA and a new comic, open mic, like real open mics, like doing a show on a roof of a hostel with no lights and no microphones.
Wow.
Like open mic, like laundromats, just all like.
No mic open mic. That's
oh,
how
yeah,
real.
no mics.
That's legit.
Women's shelters, so I was seeking out, I was like one of those little, right, like a little worker bee, just bzz, bzz, going over to this little cafe. What's over here,
But what would you do when you
some-
get there? Would you just fly on the wall, or would you?
No, I would say, where's the sign up? How
Oh,
do I
that's
get a
it. So you're
spot?
going in.
Just, full on. And
For you.
back then there were things called like newspapers.
Ooh.
And so you looked in the paper, right, the LA Weekly or whatever was out for, I'm not kidding you, there was no websites. And
No, I believe you, but I love how you sell newspaper as a silly potty accessory.
It is. And so you would look to see where the open mics were, and that was the Bible. Like if someone said there's an open mic on a Tuesday at 7:30, sign up is at 6, you were there. Well, Tripoli happened to have a show that night that was not listed in the paper. I was pissed. That was my night to do my terrible 3 minutes of new jokes. And he goes, look, okay, well, let me cut you a deal. I'll give you a spot on this show, but you got to do a sketch with me. And I go, why? And he goes, because you and I look like brother and sister. To this day, I'm still offended by that.
You notice
remark.
I didn't say that part out loud.
Yeah. He thinks we look like brother and sister, which we kind of do. Anyways, I can also grow a beard. So I said, we don't look like brother and sister. And everyone around is like, oh my God, you guys don't look like a brother and sister. He goes, we're going to be brother and sister in this sketch. Cut the story short to, I had to make out with Sam Tripoli. So I was the original #MeToo.
The gag at the end of this, the setup was, we're brother and sister, and then somehow at the end, you guys make out.
We're
and
making
it's
out,
like,
and the
whoa,
audience is
what the hell? They're
freaked
brothers and sisters.
out,
Yeah.
and they're grossed out, and he swallowed my face. He has like shark
Gotta make it
teeth, like
believable.
an extra layer of teeth. No one knows this about him, but I do. Anyway, Sam Tripoli.
Hold in. Well, that's certainly nice. You grew up in, can we say Connecticut? Even though it was 2 years?
Just a couple years.
Just a little bit.
We
Just
had that in
mooching off the
common.
system.
So we were talking about that, and then you went to San Francisco.
Yes, that's where I grew up.
Is that where you started comedy? Where did you get
No.
into, and how did that all start?
So
As
again-
a fan of comedy, I love to hear people's origin stories.
Yes, I started comedy in the turn of the century. So I thought legally you had to start in LA or New York.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. That was just, it was
we
a
all
long
thought.
time
was.
That's
ago.
what we all thought.
Yeah.
I still think that. Is that not
Yeah.
true?
No, you should not. I tell all new comics. People reach out all the time,
You start
right?
in Columbus? Where do you start?
Yes.
Really?
And stay in Columbus for a long time. We
Are
are
you just
full
saying that to-
up in the valley. Do you know how much traffic there is
That's
going
what I was
over
going
the
to say. Are
canyon?
you just saying that to keep it empty here?
No, that is the truth now. A lot of great small and big towns have an amazing comedy community.
Wow.
I highly suggest being a big fish in a small pond for as long, until you're just bursting at the seams, because that's where you'll really get your voice. And you come out to LA. I started in LA. You're not heard at all. It's it's everyone is like the scene in the Titanic where we're all just like screaming for help, and maybe a boat comes around with some junior agents that picks you up and takes you to, William Morris. But
it's not a good picture.
Really hard. It's really hard. So I suggest people stay where they are for as long as possible. But I didn't know that. So I went to San Diego State, moved to LA, and started here. And when I'm in San Francisco, they don't consider me a San Francisco comic, even though, hello,
Right.
West Portal Elementary representing
Even though you're
Hoover
bred
Hawks, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because of your
Because you didn't
nationality, or because
yes, because of my profile. No, because I'm not a San Francisco comic. I didn't pay my dues. Hanging
that's
out.
what they're.
Yeah, hanging out and.
Well, I guess I kind of agree with that then.
I guess, sure, yeah. I mean, even though I'm a San Francisco comic.
Neighborhood politics go across the board.
I don't know. I started self-producing my own shows in San Francisco and selling them out. And then the comedy clubs got even more miffed with me because they were like, wait, you're making more in one night than we pay our headliners in a week? I don't know if I like this.
And we don't want you?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I heard the Punchline's closing again, or is. Or
I know, yeah.
That one kind
no
of blew
more
me away.
Embarcadero Punchline. I was there for a while.
All right, so then you started in LA. How did that go for you? If it's so
Poorly.
hard, yeah.
Yes, very poorly.
Aren't we programmed though that you come to LA, and I mean back in the day it was you watch the 70s, and everybody was going to the Comedy Store and trying out for Mitzi, and then they get it, and then they're on Johnny, and then like that's the trajectory, right? That was what it was.
Yes.
So were you thinking that was what it was going to be?
Well, sure, a little bit.
I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I knew that it would be rough and tough because there's a lot of competition. So you have to stand out. And then plus, I ovulate. So it's a little bit trickier for chicks, right? And so I knew there was going to be a battle, but that's how you know that you're really doing the right thing, because you stick with it. I have a lot of friends that I started with that were like, I cannot take this. It's so much rejection. It's way more no's than yeses. It's like a dude trying to date. It's like, no. You got to just keep plugging away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys on the apps now, right? I'm married.
Are we talking about dating apps or
I guess,
social apps?
The dating apps.
Okay.
But they just will talk to me and just do this while we're having a conversation.
It's the worst.
Oh, they're on the dating app.
Yeah, they're just swiping. And I go, what are you
doing?
doing? Because I'm completely in the dark because I've been with my husband since before emails. And, and they're just like, oh, I just do this so that when the women match, I can go, oh, okay. I go, but you're not looking at them at all? Like, you don't care what their picture looks like? He goes, no. I was like, but what if, like, you don't...
Is it dating or is it just a sex app?
Well, it's everything. Yeah, it's...
Well, I mean, if it's just a sex app, I can
fist.
understand some fucking guy being that way.
Whoa.
I'm not one of them.
I feel like
Language,
people...
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, and I'll get...
Yeah.
Bad girls.
Really?
I feel like people use it for different things. So there's a lot of miscommunication about dating apps.
Right.
Some people want to actually use it to find their love soulmate. And
but that's not Tinder. So I guess this was Tinder he was on. Just like, let's put fingers inside of each other.
Tinder, I don't even know her.
Again, I've been married for so long. Is that a thing still?
Grindr and Tinder, and both of us, we've been together 10 years, and it was just before the apps.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I missed it. Gosh. All right, so it was really, really hard. But where did you start? I don't understand. I mean, you were going up at all the open mics.
All the open mics. I mean, honestly, like cafes. I had a couple of places I would hit up every week. So there was a place here in the Valley, just down the street from here. It was called Jennifer's, and I was there every Wednesday night.
Jennifer's Comedy Club?
Coffee house, it was.
Oh, I see. Okay, Jennifer's
and they make you
Coffee
buy
House.
stuff. Like, they're like, oh, you want to sign up? Get a muffin.
Yep.
So now I'm gaining weight. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. That puts you in a whole different
chubby
category.
comedy.
Yeah, and so I would go open mics. I did the open mics at the Laugh Factory. Jamie Masada gave me some notes. You know what? Let me tell you something,
Not bad.
buddy.
Not bad. Buddy.
Maybe a wig. Put on a funny wig. And okay.
So change your act.
Yeah, exactly. So even though I love Jamie now, not great advice. And I would just go up at all the clubs. And I did an open mic the night of Columbine. And that was horrendous and terrible and awful and tragic because we were not used to school shootings.
This is amazing. I did a show the night of the Newtown shooting, the same
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
started crying on stage because I'm from that town. So it was the whole
Well,
bit. It was
oh my
it was the whole
gosh,
bit.
that's
I know
right.
exactly what you're talking about.
But Columbine was so long ago. It was a very strange, crazy
It was
phenomenon.
still new then.
It almost felt like a freak accident, like a school shooting. And there were comics joking about it. And in that moment, I decided to kind of do a little bit of like an inward, like a meditation. I was
Sure.
like, do I want to be a part of this community? So I stopped open mics for a while. And I decided no. And
You
then
kind of
sometime-
realized where the pulse was on this whole thing, and you said,
I
maybe
just-
this isn't what
you know
I
what?
stand for at the moment.
Yeah, open micers are new. I get it. They're looking, they're searching. Hey, even I'm sure nowadays it feels like everything is on limits. Any kind of tragedy could happen and people are on stage. Veterans, new comics doesn't matter, and they want to get the first joke in or the first tweet.
Sure.
And that's just not my style. I'm not into that. I like to kind of let things just be and help them be organic and not
Yes.
jump in and make fun of it. So
Let's read the room first, right?
read the world, right? And so I took a step back and I had to really think, like, is this what I really want? Am I, a douchebag inside as well? Because you have to be a little douchey to be a comic. You
Or
just-
not care, yeah, one
right.
or the other.
And so I gave myself a few months off. And then, of course, I realized, look, I was hit and yelled at as a kid. Let's do this. And so I made my...
Is this the moment, though, that you're kind of realizing how the process works?
Yeah.
Getting more real and stuff?
Yeah, this
Okay.
was 2000. So I considered 2000 my real comedy anniversary, even though for, a year or two before that I was doing stand-up and making out with Sam Tripoli on stage. So 2000 is what I consider my real comedy birthday. So yeah, we're going on 19
You made the
years.
choice, the conscious choice to get into that
Yes.
world despite its chaos.
Yes, and know how to distinguish myself
Mm-hmm.
and say, like, that might be them, but I'm going to try to maybe take a higher path. And I'm not saying I haven't done, a few terrible dick jokes in of course, a million. But, I'm just trying to, like, what am I trying to say? Who am I trying to be? I give young comics this advice all the time. People always say, like, find your voice and what's your lane and find your voice. And there is truth in that. But really find it and just make sure that that is exactly who you want to be. If it changes, that's fine too. You can evolve, right? George
Right.
Carlin, like a lot of comics have
Reinvent
changed
yourself.
and reinvent. But whatever you reinvent yourself to be, or if it's every day, just wake up and be so plugged in and adamant that this is my voice.
Yeah.
So unwavering, whatever it
You
is.
have to know yourself, right?
Just know yourself and unwavering. And if you want to be Anthony Jeselnik, who is funny and brilliant and insane and dirty and like, what did he just say? But he is like dedicated to that. And that's just my advice.
Is he
All
like
right, let's
that
go to
in
commercial
small
break.
rooms too? Because
Wait, what happened?
So Anthony Jeselnik.
Was that-
Anthony Jeselnik? Is
Yeah.
he like that in small rooms? I've only seen the big stuff.
Yeah. But, backstage, I don't know him very well at all, but backstage, he's like a total sweetheart. So that's just what his voice is
His
on stage.
persona.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love knowing that stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. If
I don't know him that well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
No, it's
anything.
great because you're a fan of his. Yeah, it's great.
I like him, and I never know. But people ask all the time, like, "What's so and so to work with?" And I'm like, working with people is different than like being their buddy. So
Yeah.
I never know how to answer that. But like Anthony's super funny. I just only know his specials. So
Yeah.
I love hearing the behind the scenes stuff.
That's why I want to get naked or half naked with comedians.
Is that what
my
you're
goal.
doing on
Yes.
on your other show? Well,
Yes.
you've got a lot of. Do you have a lot of shows, or does it just seem like you've got tons of podcasts and a bunch of?
I
Different
have a
things?
lot of things going on and two
That's
children
great.
that might need a hug once in a while. I'm going to cough. Sorry. Okay, I coughed into this mic instead.
That one's off. You're good.
yeah,
So
sorry.
wait, when was your second kid?
She is 3.5.
Oh, so is that the and you?
That's
you,
it. We're done.
You
8
did this
and
to me,
3.5.
but you did this to me. Was that the
That's
second
right.
kid?
Yes.
We'll get to what you're doing now, but was
Sure.
that a special or
Yeah,
was?
yeah. I produced that all on my own. Now, when I say all on my own, doesn't mean I didn't have camera operators and producers and directors.
Sure.
Of course, I did. But I'm saying in the sense of, I came up with a crowdfunding because it's expensive, as you guys know,
Yes.
and I had no experience crowdfunding. So I asked some friends and people that had done it, and they said, just whatever you do, make the kind of the prizes, or what do they call them? Like the things you can
the
win.
tote bags, whatever
Yeah.
you donate. You know,
The swag, make the really high priced ones really amazing. So for, I believe, $20,000, you could help name my child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
you did go big.
Yeah. For 10,000, I can't remember now. It was so long ago. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I think you could help cut the cord.
I hope it's the other way
My
around.
gosh.
Maybe it was 25,000. Cut the cord. Oh, for 10,000, you could watch me breastfeed. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. My husband actually, for some reason, that's the one he didn't go for.
Yeah.
That one he
That's the one
Yeah, that's
out
the
of
one.
all of it? Oh my
But
gosh.
watching the
They're
birth,
all pretty.
Yeah, watching the birth and helping and then naming the child. So we got some big ones.
You're
and we
kidding.
shot it. Yeah.
So people really did get the
Well,
high ticket?
Back to the Russians. So I owe the mafia a lot of money. And I wish I was kidding. And I
why
know
you're on
everyone
social
thinks
media.
I'm kidding. And I'm not. I like my fingers. So please go to Amazon and watch You Did This to Me. That's where I make the money back the most.
Amazon?
Even though it's like streaming a lot of different places, but Amazon's the best.
So you could buy it on Amazon.
You can rent it, you can watch it. Even if you do Amazon
so go spend
Prime.
some money on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if you do Amazon Prime.
Even I get money. You did this to me. Please. The Russian
Is that true?
mafia,
Even if you watch it on Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Oh, so even if it's
they're
free. There
breathing down my neck, and you know they have bad breath.
you go. I don't know anything.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know
all of
anything.
that
I don't want any
borscht.
part of this headache.
And yeah,
Oh, the
caviar.
borscht. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
It's bad. Yeah. And
Babushka bedhead and the whole bit.
Please get You Did This to Me.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
All right,
Watch
mother
it.
of two, you were saying,
What was I saying? Which part?
well, we were getting to you going to be half naked with people
Yes.
on a show.
My goal in life is to be naked with Koreans.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Now-
I mean, you're not alone. Goodness
Right?
gracious.
Right?
Sure.
I
Long
want to be
list.
on a daily basis, but that's expensive, right? That is really costly. So in my house, and when I say naked with Koreans, I do mean like steam and sauna and, doing all the jacuzzis and being in a spa, Korean spa specifically.
Mm-hmm.
None of this Burke Williams pussy bullshit. You know what I mean?
I, too, am over the Burke Williams.
I need it hardcore. I want it fast. I want it now.
Are they walking on you in the whole bit?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole
They're
thing.
scrubbing just layers and layers of shame and guilt and
The
regret.
loofah?
off
The
of me.
loofah, or are they
yeah,
just
they're
scratching?
These Korean like little gloves. They're amazing. I buy them. I have them. I also love Russian spas because they beat you with things called veniki, which are little brooms that you make out of eucalyptus leaves or birch leaves, and they beat you upon your naked flesh. And it's the best feeling
It's
in the world.
invigorating?
Yeah, better than hugs for my kids.
Come on.
I'm telling you right. For me. So my goal is to recreate that in my house. I happen to have a steam room in my house. My husband built a DIY sauna, infrared sauna,
Oh,
which is
wow.
very healthy,
That's nice,
near
yeah.
infrared. And my goal is to just, if you want to be naked, that's totally fine. You don't have to be. But, Bobby Lee, I'm looking at you. I'm sure you will be.
Oh, he's already naked.
But
He's already
naked listening to
naked,
this right
yeah.
now.
Right, and
Watches our show naked.
and then I'm creating a talk show, but it's all taking place in my house, in a steam room and my sauna, and I have a kiddie pool that we
yeah.
fill with ice. That's the cold plunge.
Okay.
And we have a jacuzzi, and it's the talk show that's naked. Or in
Holy
a suit,
smokes.
whatever you're
Is
comfortable
this already
with.
available to be seen, or is this
Not
concept
yet. Not yet.
It's
It's in
development?
pre-production right now. We start shooting July.
Oh wow! So you really this is
Oh no,
happening.
this is real. Yeah, we're shooting July because that's when hopefully we'll get summer in LA. My gosh,
Too
I
much.
had the heater on.
We did too.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Too much.
Yeah. So that's my goal in life.
It's a good goal.
I'm telling you.
What's the show called?
Well,
Or are
I don't
you
want to
working on
say
it?
now.
Oh,
I
see.
have names, but we'll just wait.
Oh, all right.
We'll just wait. If you guys have any suggestions, I have some suggestions, but I want to. I'm gonna patent. I'm not patent. I'm gonna trademark it.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Well, you're
Good.
gonna have to. It's gonna be a big hit.
Yes, it is.
You'll make a lot of money off of this thing. I'm trying to
Yep.
think of what the merch will be. You know what I mean? Towels, like bath towels. and-
Towels is a great one.
That's a
Mitts,
good one.
the
Headbands,
mitts. We
mitts.
have the little scrubbing mitts. Also, we have to wear the little Russian hats that we wear in steam rooms and saunas. You don't know about the Russian hats?
How would I? What is it? What's a Russian hat? I mean,
Can-
I know the babushka that I mentioned before, and
Yeah,
I only know
so-
that from the Trident commercial back in the day.
Well, okay, but that's no. Oh my
Whatever
God.
the gum was. Hello, my
I
little
mean,
babushka.
I-
So I take a Claudette's.
You have to keep the heat in when you steam and sauna.
Sure, I remember this.
You have
from
to.
the Burke Williams days.
So you in real Russian saunas, you wear this. There we go. I don't know if I can show it and put it into a camera.
Just face this one here.
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Can you see this guy?
Oh, my.
Here, I'll
wait,
take
there's a
it, I'll
glare.
take it,
There's
I'll
a
take it.
glare.
No, we'll get it.
Okay.
Oh, my.
So you have to wear that hat. Yeah, there you go. Oh, wait. It went away.
Somehow he's got
You got to, maybe like move it around.
There we go.
He was
I
there
don't
a
know.
second ago.
Yeah, he was.
He was there a second ago. But yeah.
I'll put it in after if you text
Okay.
it to me.
Yeah. I don't know if oh, drats. But this is the kind of hat, and I'll have everyone have.
But
a
what
hat
is
like
the
this.
name of that hat? It almost looks
Well,
like a soft warrior hat from some sort of.
It's made out of wool, and
But it kind of has the shape of like
yeah.
some battle metal helmet.
It's all to keep the heat in and to make you sweat. When you sweat, you live.
Is that true?
I don't know. I think
Well,
it's
it's
awesome.
detoxing, right?
You got to detox.
Sweat, you live.
You-
That was good.
you know-
She really sold it.
Yeah, you got your skin's the largest organ on your body. Sorry, guys. And that's
Speak for
you know
yourself.
what I mean. And then I just want to make people feel good.
So wait, are you going to be doing this to them
Yes,
during?
I'll
So
be
you're going to be
beating
asking
them.
them questions. They're going to be trying to answer it while you're beating them with a thatch.
Yes.
And scrubbing them?
And
That's
scrubbing
your jam?
and steaming. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Does this show have a home yet, or we're self-producing this and we're going to find a home for it?
Well, let's just say we're in talks. I don't want to say
No,
too
it
much.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we should buy it for
You
our
should.
new thing that we're doing.
You should definitely put a bid in, and we'll see. We'll negotiate.
You bring the banana peel hats.
Banana peel hat. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? The healing powers of,
Oh,
the
yeah.
therapeutic powers of.
Yeah.
KIRA Soltanovich.
Soltanovich.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome to come steam with me.
I've been
That's the
waiting
name
for
of
the
the
invite
show.
this
Seriously,
whole time. I'm trying to.
Steam
Where have
with
you been?
me.
We
whole-
have to.
The whole way, I'm trying to think. Is she being serious this whole way? Because I know there's at least part. Like this
No.
is true. I know this is true.
No,
but
no,
is
no.
it really fully
this
true?
This is my passion. This is
Wow.
my addiction. I mean, I know I'm addicted because I will lie to people when they ask me, "Where are you?" And I'm at this Korean spot, and I tell them Trader Joe's.
Get
So that's
out.
how you know you have a problem, right? Alcoholics lie, drug addicts lie, shopaholics, like whatever holic you are.
I think it's great.
I'm a Korean holic.
Crossing Sam Tripoli off. I'm crossing you did this to me off. Today we mentioned that Carson retired.
Yes.
27 years ago. Was he big for you? Because of comedy and everything?
Very big.
He was. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely watch the comedians, which were on last. That means I had to
Stay,
sneak
yeah.
in and watch that. So my parents made the mistake of putting a TV in my room when I was a kid.
Ooh.
But it was like one of those TVs with like a handle. I think
Yeah,
it
I
was
had the same one.
for
With
camping
the
or
antennas
something.
that pulled
yeah.
up. Yeah.
And but I would watch the
Black and white?
end. Yeah. Black and white.
Yeah,
Yes, it
me
was.
too.
And it's so funny. We had a huge earthquake in 1989 in San Francisco.
I
It was
remember it.
enormous. And we had that TV, and we could watch everything that was happening on that TV, whereas nobody else. This was
Cable
before.
was all out and everything, right?
Yes. Phones were out. I felt like I was in the future.
Yeah, you had a weird
you had
access
information
that
when
no one
nobody else
had.
did.
No, I mean, and I didn't even know who are these news companies reporting to. Obviously, people outside of where the earthquake hit. But we were sitting there watching our city burn, and the neighbors were
bridge
like,
collapse,
"How
Bay
did you
Bridge
know
and
what
all
was
that.
happening?" We're like, "We have a TV on batteries."
Oh, right. 'Cause the power.
It
of
ran on
course,
batteries.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that is magic, isn't it?
Isn't it crazy? And now it's just in your pocket.
Good grief. What was that? I mean, I hate to bounce around, but what was that like? The '89 earthquake up there. Do you remember it?
Well,
I mean, you remember these aspects.
I
of
do
it,
remember.
but-
Yeah. I was.
I remember it watching it on in school. They brought the TVs into the classrooms to show you how awful it was in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Bay
yeah.
Bridge collapse and all the other stuff.
The Bay
It's
Bridge.
awful.
Both
Oh,
my parents
yeah.
worked in the East Bay at that time.
Oh,
so my
gee
dad
whiz.
had just driven over the Bay Bridge,
Ooh.
and my mom was just driving towards the Nimitz, which is a section of the freeway that collapsed on itself.
Right. On the lower
And
level.
I think it left I think they were saying maybe 10 inches of space.
That's
so
all.
cars were
Ooh.
squished into people, were squished to 10 inches of space. Awful. And she was not there yet, so of course everything stopped. So she was stuck on the East Bay. And we didn't know where she was. And my dad managed to get over the Bay Bridge and get home. I was in high school, so I got home. I think buses stopped. Everything stopped because
Yeah.
nobody knew what was going on. And we just saw the marina even though my house was so far away, the fire was so insane. It looked like the fire was just right down the street.
Yeah.
But it was all the way down at the marina because the
Oh.
marina was built on sand and garbage, right? One of the wealthiest neighborhoods in San Francisco just shook. I mean, it had no chance at all. No chance.
There's no bedrock there. It's
No,
literally
zero.
Just built on a pile of garbage.
Everything
Landfill.
just
Oh.
crumbled. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was bananas. Yeah, really
Sorry
crazy.
to bring that down. So Carson.
So Carson retired. I remember watching that last episode. Bette Midler was on, right?
She was on the second to last.
Oh, second
She
to
was the
last.
last guest, though.
The last guest.
Yeah.
That's right. And I mean, he was in tears.
Yeah.
And
One more for the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You'll appreciate this. It's not really related, but kind of related. But
Okay.
I feel like you, of all people, will really appreciate this.
Okay.
One of the biggest faux pas of my career. So I worked on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno
That's
for
on here as
many,
well.
many years. Okay. And Jay and I would stand and chat during my segments when they were airing for the studio audience. And we would just...
Because you would do
Whatever.
the pre-tape bits, right? And then they would
Right.
air them for the live
Yeah. So I
audience.
did something called the photo booth. And then we would...
Do people know what that is? Where
The
they would-
photo
They would
booth.
put the photo booth in weird places, right?
Most of the time, it was at Universal Studios.
City Walk.
Not City Walk, inside the park.
Oh, okay.
It was inside the park. Sometimes we would go to like random places like Santa Monica Pier.
Right.
A couple times we went out to
But touristy,
the LA
right?
County Fair. LA County Fair was the worst because people there are drunk at 10 a.m.
Drunk. Yeah, drunk.
Lit.
Go there to get drunk.
And a guy threatened to skull fuck us. Anyways, so I can say all those words, right? Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I did. So I'm on stage with Jay, and he's asking me, what else are you up to? What else are you doing? Because, as comics, we're always doing like 5 or 16 different things. So at the time, I happened to be also on the road with Joan Rivers, and I happened to be writing for her on a show called How'd You Get So Rich?
Oh, my God.
Right? It was for TV Land. Wait, oh my gosh. Yes, TV Land.
Before her E-deal.
Right. And it's Joan traveling the country asking people, how did you get so rich? And it's always like some crazy, wacky story.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
I invented a pet thermometer, whatever. Just crazy, weird stuff.
But it's basically Joan Rivers doing Robin Leach, right? Almost.
Right, but it's Joan,
I kinda
and
remember
she's
this
doing
show.
her acerbic humor, and I was a writer, and so I would throw her jokes and pitch her jokes and travel with her, right? And
But
it
I
was-
remember, like, how much was that chair? You bought that chair? I remember
exactly,
that chair was
yes.
how I remember all of that.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So Jay's asking, what else are you up to? And I go, oh, I'm on the road right now. I'm writing for Joan Rivers. And he goes, oh, Joan Rivers, yeah. And there was like a moment of silence, and I don't know why, but I said, yeah, she says hi.
And there's quite a bit of history there.
She didn't say hi.
Well, there's also quite a history with
was
Joan Rivers and the Tonight Show.
trying-
It's a weird lie.
I was trying to fill time.
Yeah.
And the minute I said that, I was like, what am I doing? And he goes, she does? He said hi. I go,
Ah!
I doubled down. I was like, yeah, she loves you, Jay.
Oh my God.
Yes, she loves you. He goes, oh, really?
This is on the air.
This is my boss. No, this is not on the air. This is when the studio
Oh, they're
audience
watching
is
the clip.
watching
So you're
the clip,
just
so we're
buddy-buddy
just
with- okay.
silent.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
we're
God.
not silent. We're just chatting. And we would chat about whatever, like random stuff. He would ask me, how's your dad doing? Like, just
Did you usually lie to him?
never.
Okay, good.
Never, ever, ever, ever. It just came out. And he was like, oh, that's nice. That's good. That's it, right? And I go, okay. And I'm telling myself, shut up, stop talking,
Yeah.
stop
Just
talking.
Just turn it off.
And I ended up doing the same thing to Joan.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But of course,
It
he
was
at this
like-
point did say hello.
It was like, those 80s sitcoms were like, it's a misunderstanding,
Yeah. Schneider did it.
Right? Yeah. And it's like, it was a Three's Company episode through and through where I'm like, well, maybe this is me bringing them together.
Right.
And so,
Gonna get Joan back on the Tonight Show.
no, we did not.
Wow.
No. But wow, wouldn't have that been amazing if we could have just buried that?
Do you know
'Cause
Norm Macdonald at all? I know you know of him, I'm sure.
I've done shows with him, but I do not know him.
He's got a story he used to tell about back in the day with can't talk about him anymore. Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
And it was something with the effect of Norm was trying to tell Bill Cosby that his dad was a big fan. Oh, that's great. Give me his number. I'll call him. Whatever. Norm's dad was long dead, but he wouldn't tell them, oh, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, here's the number. They met him again. And yeah, I
my
called the
God.
number. The man is not at the number. Whole big deal.
my
Exactly the
gosh.
situation you were talking about. And it was just, he was like, I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. And he's my
Yeah.
hero. Like, I can't.
Yes. And these are two people that employ me, and I'm a people pleaser already. But see, with that, Norm could always have been like, "Oh, yesterday my dad passed."
Yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Right,
Yeah.
like yesterday, like that.
If only
could,
you had called sooner.
Right. I know. Maybe
Not
you would
you.
have held on. Oh my gosh. My dad did something similar. I shot a pilot with Cindy Williams, and for the youngsters that are watching / listening, she was from Laverne and Shirley. She is Shirley. On Laverne and Shirley. And my parents learned how to speak English by watching sitcoms because
no kidding.
only one.
Just like Madison from Splash.
Right, exactly. So
Dated
they
reference.
Rochambeaued, and like only one of them could go take classes in night school. So my mom won. So my dad had to really watch TV to learn how to speak English. So he watched Laverne and Shirley. He watched Happy Days. I used to do a bit about whenever I'd be in trouble, my parents were like, "You sit on it, Patsy." Like I would. But that's how they
She's a
spoke to
character,
me.
sure.
That's how they spoke to me. And so I did a pilot, and I told my dad, "Oh, I'm going to do a pilot with Shirley from Laverne and Shirley." And he's like, "You have to give me phone. You have to call me when you're." I go, "Pop,
Holy
we're going to
shit.
be working. I mean, come on, that's not
that's so
professional,
cool, though.
right?" So again, there's a lull, and we're in between shots, and we're just sitting there, and I go, "My dad learned how to speak English by watching Laverne and Shirley," and she's like, "That is the sweetest thing." Next thing I know, I did not want to do this. I'm dialing I'm like, I don't know why am I doing this? It's ringing. I have my dad on speaker, and I go, "Pop, I'm here with Cindy Williams. I have to talk to her."
Oh my God.
Our shooting schedule was delayed because of my father. He would not get off the phone.
Oh my God.
I just heard her saying, "Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Soltanovich. Well, it was really nice to speak." I'm like, "Just hang up, just hang." She's like, I can't. He's just talking. He's just talking.
And it's on the production report now for that day.
Yeah, we went over. We had to give, fifth meal to our crew because my dad made us order pizza.
From Carmine, I hope.
I wish. That would have been full circle.
I
Yeah.
get the references. They're so dated that I forget
I
that
don't
nobody
know
else
who's
does.
watching. I
You
don't
what
know.
mean?
Like honestly,
Didn't Carmine run the pizza place in Laverne and Shirley?
If a 30-year-old is watching, they don't know what's
Isn't
going
that
on.
the worst?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm somebody I can finally talk to about this stuff.
I have too many old references in my brain, and I don't know what to do. It was just my husband and I just ping-pong them back and forth.
Well, how did the Jay Leno thing even come up? How did you get that gig? Because, as a comic,
Yeah.
you want to work on The Tonight Show.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who's hosting it. You want to work on the damn Tonight Show.
Absolutely. It was supposed to be one time,
Oh, good for
a
you.
photo booth thing where it's like they said, "Can you come in audition? And you're just going to be this voice, just this headless, faceless, bodiless voice that sounds like one of those automated voices. Like when you're checking out, like self-checkout, or even the gas station has them sometimes.
Even the cars in the old days. The
Just-
door is ajar.
Yeah.
Just that
By the way,
voice.
that was my first voiceover gig.
What? The car ones?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
It was for
Jackrabbit
Chrysler.
starts are bad for fuel economy.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Chrysler. And now I drive a Chrysler Pacifica
Get
minivan.
out!
I drive a minivan.
What's up, Mom?
But it was, it was like I had to do all those, like, the engine light is on. It was
Yes.
like, terrible now, but in the moment it was great. So anyway, they had me come in because I did a lot of hidden camera. I was doing a hidden camera show at the time called Girls Behaving Badly.
That's on here, too.
Yeah. And so they knew me from that. So they're like, come in and just pitch us what you would do. So I pitched them, like, here's what I would do inside this photo booth.
So they've got the premise. They're just, this
Yeah.
is what I would ad-lib to
Yeah,
be
and
the
it's
girl.
all improvised, obviously, because people are just coming in. The only thing that after a while was not improvised was I would ask for silly props. That's the only thing that was like you could consider pre-produced or
But you're a voiceover.
Right.
So what kind of props do you need?
We would
Or are they sound
have,
effect props?
We would have one of our production people stick their hand in and like stick in like a puppet.
Oh,
a
for the
Muppet.
people.
You have to react.
For
Inside
the
the photo booth,
people, and then
yes.
you can
Yeah.
react with it.
And
Oh,
then I have
great.
them like play along.
Great.
So I come in, and Joe Medeiros is the head writer at the time, and he goes, "Great, we're shooting it tomorrow." I was like, "Awesome!"
But you
they
got
said
it.
it was one time. It got such a huge reaction. We did it for 8.5 years.
Not bad.
Not bad.
That's
about
pretty good.
50 times.
50. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it was
technically, those are
exciting.
appearances on The Tonight Show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would generally
I
come out
was
to.
the longest running bit that didn't have Jay involved.
Ah.
So, Jay had his sketches he would do.
Jaywalking headlines.
Jaywalking or his, that chin thing that he
Iron
would
Jay.
do. Yeah. So those would go on for years, and they were huge and successful. Everyone loved those. So I was the longest one. I'm pretty sure, this is what one of the producers told me, that didn't have Jay involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which producer?
I'll never tell.
Guy or girl?
So that was definitely a dream job.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then, and were you ever on Letterman, or I mean, you've done other panel. I've seen you on other shows, but I can't remember ever.
So if you want to get into some
Letterman. Is this
nasty politics.
Oh, well, not if you don't want
Oh,
to.
I don't care.
Oh, okay,
It's already
then
been
yes, I
talked
sure
about
do.
on my podcast. So
Nasty politics.
Yeah, here we go.
Coming through.
This is inside. I wasn't allowed to do stand up on Letterman, obviously, right?
Sure.
Because
They can
Contract
they're,
with Jay, sure.
they're feud. Okay, fine.
Leftovers from the
So-
Kushnick days, right?
Right. So then, of course, Jay and Conan had a beef, so I wasn't allowed to do stand up on Conan. And then I think Jay and Kimmel then had a beef, so I wasn't allowed to do stand up on Kimmel.
You're exactly right.
So all
and
these
these
rules.
were all at different times.
These were all these rules, but yet they never booked me as a stand up on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno
Wow.
because they felt like, shouldn't you just be grateful for what you do have?
Ooh.
Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer, and I never did stand up except for, I don't even know if this counts, Carson Daly.
Oh,
The only time, yeah.
Was it when he had the studio
No, it was when he was doing remote stuff.
at bars
Yeah,
around town
yeah,
and stuff?
Yeah.
That was still his NBC show, yeah?
Yeah, it was still NBC. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
That
only
only
one.
just recently went off the air.
Can
I
you
mean,
believe that?
just
We used to do a
Ken.
ton
I
of
remember
stuff
when he
with them
got
at
it.
bars. We shot something with them at House of Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all over.
So it was kind of a bummer, and I'm still. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, but you're not. I mean, the Tonight Show. Jay hasn't had the Tonight Show for 5 years. What about now? Obviously,
I've
this one here.
This is the closest I've been.
You're so good at it. You're so natural at panel. I feel
I
like you should
love
be given the
panel.
opportunity to do more.
I think so.
that
I
you
think
can
it's
figure
around
it
the
out.
corner.
Okay.
It is.
Good.
Okay, good.
I think it's coming.
I
Yeah.
do too. Especially now that we said that.
We put it out into the universe.
That's all it takes, right?
Manifest it.
I believe in that stuff.
Look,
it works for me.
I told my 8-year-old to manifest what he wants, and I'm telling you, he does it all the time.
So
and
you
it
believe too, yeah.
works.
Yeah,
it
it does work.
works. And he's like, I need to save some more money, for whatever Lego set he wants, right?
Oh.
I go, manifest it. Manifest money falling out of the sky
right.
into your lap.
Abundance
And he
from
found
everywhere.
coins on the street. It counts.
It does count.
It counts.
Especially if it helps him believe it even more.
Right.
because
And
then
I go,
it'll just increase it.
You just found money, And so,
Wow.
got to manifest it.
What are your kids' names?
Well,
can we say?
The younger one was named by the Russian mafia, so her name is Vladimir.
And not the supporters of your special.
Well, yeah.
Or,
no,
I see.
They gave
it
us
is.
money.
They're the ones who did it.
They're the ones. I'm
They're the
telling you,
supporters of this special.
I'm sending you
Wow.
a message right now. I owe the Russian mafia a lot of money.
But what are you trying to say?
Please go to Amazon and watch You Did This to Me. Now. I have children that need their mother.
You should probably get one of these shows. I'm trying to think. I was like, oh, you should do panel on other shows, but I'm thinking at this point that we should just turn your thing into one of these shows. You should just host one of these shows, right?
I should. Yeah.
And that's what the podcasts are, kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah. And podcasts are great because, I like to ask weird questions. I like to kind of dig, and I like to kind of figure things out that not everyone has asked,
You asked a whole bunch of weird questions when we were setting up the studio today.
I love it. I'm very curious.
That's great, though,
I
right?
think you should follow your curiosity. People are like, well, I don't know what I want to do in life. What are you curious about?
Figure it
doesn't
out.
matter
Right.
what it is. Just follow
Start
that. Keep
hoovering
asking.
up the info when you get it.
Yes. Keep asking more questions.
Yeah.
Tell everyone.
That's the name of my talk show, Asking Questions with KIRA Soltanovich.
Honestly, you could do that anywhere. You're going to
Right.
waste that in the steam room. That's such a good name. It's such
Yeah.
a good name.
Yeah.
So maybe multiple shows for you.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Keep busy.
Scrubbed.
Scrubbed,
Wow.
steamed. Get steamed.
Oh,
Ooh, right?
That's a good
because
one.
they're going to be angry a little bit too.
Well, that's going to be your job, right? You're whacking them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still trying to picture this whole thing. Is it going to be video? Because it has to be,
Oh
right?
no, it
For
is.
all of this.
Oh no, it's definitely. So I want you to also picture it kind of like Between Two Ferns.
Okay.
A little bit.
So we're tongue in cheek a little bit.
Well, they are. My guests are a little bit upset with the situation, whereas I'm very eager and earnest.
Yes.
So also like Jiminy Glick.
Oh God, those were great. Weren't
Great,
they?
right? Yeah. Where the host is like really excited and the guest really regrets it.
Well, the
And
host
that's
is also
the-
wicked rude to your
that's the
face.
tone,
Eh,
that's the
Tell
tone.
me about the time you shit your pants. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the tone.
Gosh, we never really got to how or why the comedy. Like, did you
How
have
or why?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Court
we got
ordered.
we got to what you did and how you did it, but what would the influences? Like, why the comedy? I mean, I know what it was for me, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm asking.
What
for
was
me,
it for you?
A dad who passed away young who was really into comedy, and it was one of those like, oh yeah, your thing, and then when he went, it became my thing.
For
that
sure.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Well, I knew when I was 5. So be careful when kids tell you.
You knew that you wanted to get into entertainment, or
I wanted to tell jokes.
get the fuck out of here.
I knew at 5. Yes. And I would beg my parents, like, how do I become, I don't know what it is. I didn't know how to put it into words,
Yeah.
but I knew what Robin Williams was doing. He was sitting on a couch with his head instead of his ass. And I was like, that's for me. Whatever that is, that's for me.
So maybe that's what
But-
I'm getting at. So the influences.
Yeah,
at that
but
point.
my parents, we weren't even citizens yet. My parents were like, don't cause trouble, don't, no jokes, and
Blend in.
I would get into trouble at school, but since school is like a public place, like they associate it with like the government.
Right.
And so they had to come down to this government building to talk to,
Yes.
people in charge. They were like, you're going to get
You're
us in
taking a
trouble."
chance every time you walk in the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so it was kind of squashed down, but I knew when I was 5. I knew for sure.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
man.
So I hung out
Like
with
from another life almost or something.
maybe, yeah. I hung out with adults a lot. I hung out with kids too. My parents dragged me everywhere.
Only child?
No, I have an older brother. He passed, but he was much older. He was 8 years older. So like when I was 8,
Passed away or passed
he
the
passed
test?
on this project. You guys asked him to be a guest here,
He did turn us down.
but
that's right.
like Norm Macdonald's dad, he's not available.
Unavailable.
Yeah, he's not available.
Sorry about your brother.
Yes, it killed him really when you said no.
Oh.
No, he passed away a while ago now, 15 years ago.
Okay.
But he was so much older than me that he was like out of the house, like
Oh.
16 years old, driver's license.
See you later.
Forget
You weren't
it.
siblings, right.
So yeah, so I was 8. So my parents would go to like a Russian party, and everyone's like
different life.
vodka, 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 and I'm just sitting there, and I have to like talk
Guess I'll
to
drive home.
adults. Yeah, because all the other parents got babysitters, and my parents would put 2 chairs together and have me nap at parties.
Yeah.
So I knew how to like make people laugh. I knew how to be like a people pleaser
I had
to
that,
survive the
I
nights.
think it's the survivor mentality too. I think
Yeah.
that's a big part of it.
And I was beaten a lot.
Yeah, well, that's everybody. Right?
That can help.
That's
You're
more
going
the
to turn it
times
into
that-
People
a
see
very
it as
lucrative
hurting.
business.
It encouraged comedy.
It's like
I
now
will
we've
tell
worked it into
jokes.
therapy with
Yes.
these thatches.
Yes.
Eucalyptus thatch.
Vieniki. Please respect the broom.
Can we talk about girls behaving badly?
Sure, if you want to time travel to
Well, I do,
what,
'cause
15
I-
years ago.
I remember the show. I moved out here in '99, so
Oh
it
my
seems
gosh.
like you were probably. I mean, I probably used to watch you.
Yeah.
But what was that show? Tell people about that show.
Hidden camera. There was a lot going on. There was Punked. There was, I think there were a couple other little hidden camera shows.
but this was the girls' one.
This was the girls' one. And we also put a little network that's now all about stabbing dudes, but it's Oxygen. We put them on the map. So we were
Yeah, you did.
there. I don't know what you want to
It
call
was one of the
us.
launch shows, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. So it was myself, Chelsea Handler, a comic named, well, I don't know if she did comedy. Melissa, she was on The Real World. And then my friend Chandrella, who's, she's been on a bunch of stuff, television. She was in Napoleon Dynamite. She's the only black person in Napoleon Dynamite.
Is she LaFonda? LaFonda?
LaFonda.
LaFonda.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we were the main 4, actors, but we had like a lot of day players come in and out.
But I mean, what were like? Give us one setup. What was your favorite bit from that show?
Oh,
Where you were
we had a
fucking with somebody.
house out in, I believe, the Palisades, somewhere fancy schmancy. And there was a pool in the back, and I had a fake tummy, and I was giving birth in my pool. Chelsea Handler was my doula. And we had lifeguards come in because we wanted the baby to learn how to swim right away.
Oh, sure. That's the premise.
And that was what they were there for.
Are
So we
lesbian
were like,
moms? Is that why the two of you?
No, she was my doula.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
I wish we were that progressive.
But no husband in the picture. Just-
No.
We don't need that.
He
It's
wasn't
girls
there.
behaving badly.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I forgot what we said about it, but I was going into labor when they arrived.
So
And
who's the mark? Is it a pool
the
guy?
mark is the lifeguard.
Oh, is
Like
one of the
they are
lifeguards.
certified lifeguards. Like we told them to come in their
Oh,
red
I thought
bathing
they were
suits.
props. I didn't realize they were the mark.
No, they are there because they were
Oh, they
told
don't take shit
you're going to
seriously,
go
too.
and teach Nicole, who's not born yet, how to swim. And is Nicole a child? Yes. You're going to teach a
So
baby.
they didn't know that it was a brand new baby that you were
They were
birthing,
there.
and
They're going to
they
help
were gonna-
catch it with the doula and teach her how to swim right away because
So good.
pool safety is important.
So, there's so much. There's so much here.
Yeah.
Produced reality.
And I remember, again, a lot of that was improvised. And I remember we had just the barbecue tongs,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what the lifeguard was going to
Nope.
catch them with.
Nope.
And she goes,
love your funny props. You
shouldn't
love
these
your
be
props."
like sanitized? And I just put them in the pool and went like this.
Oh,
I was
boy.
like, there, chlorine, sanitized. Just fun. Lots of fun. I love props. You're right. I do love props. Props are fun.
You're on the social media, right?
I sure am.
How long have you been on
trying
Facebook?
My hardest.
How long have you been on the Facebook? I'm asking for a reason.
87.
Yeah, that's when it started, right? Same
Yeah.
here. You've got 5,000 friends on the Facebook. I also have 5,000 friends on the Facebook.
Yeah.
This is our first time meeting, yet
Yes.
we are friends on the Facebook.
Are we? That's exciting.
I know, and I don't know how. There's a way to do it to see like how long you've been friends, and
Oh, there
I
is?
don't know how to do it, but I think
Oh.
it goes way, way back.
Way back.
And I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out. I'm not the type
Hairspray
of
and-
person who just goes and like, hey, I'm friend all these weird people.
Yeah, you don't.
Have we ever met? Have we ever worked together on anything?
I
can't
remember-
imagine how or why. Just the letter J, so sometimes people remember that.
I think we made out a couple times. No, I don't know.
Lucky
Never.
me.
Never.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever met.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But it was
Maybe
one of those
Facebook
weird things.
just put us together. Maybe you and I both swiped the right way
Does
at
it
the
work
right
that
time.
way?
I don't think so. But I also have like another page, like a comedian, KIRA Soltanovich
That's
page.
what I found first, but then when I clicked on the one below it, it was we are
Yeah.
already connected and friends, and
Yeah.
we're both maxed out at the 5,000. And I don't know most of my 5,000. I
I
don't know
don't
about
think
you.
I'm doing it well. I want to hire a 14-year-old who'll just do it all for me.
Can we go halves and
Please.
just double the work?
Because I don't think I'm doing it right.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't know how
post
to do it
stuff
either.
and I'll be like, is this a thing to post?
Yeah.
And then something goes, whatever, viral, and I'm like, great. And the next thing doesn't. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? Who knows?
Because they're
I
the same in
don't-
your mind, right? Why would one go and not?
I don't know.
What about Instagram pictures? Do you like that?
I'm on there. I'm
You're on that
on
one, too.
there. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
The pictures I like because I know if I like the picture. If I like it, I can
But
post
is
it.
it just
if I
a
don't,
picture
I
of
don't.
you all the time? Like, what are you supposed to do? Take a picture of like
Us,
a
it's
weird,
generally cars.
you know,
and
like I saw this beetle on the ground. Like, what do you do?
sometimes
I've
Okay.
done that.
Okay.
it's weird because I don't know what people. They used to
What?
want your craft or your art or whatever you do. Now they
Right.
just want you in your regular life.
different
Like here I
kind
am
of
brushing my teeth. Oh,
Personality exposure.
yeah, it's weird.
So if
isn't
you
it?
like Beatles, that's fine.
Then that's what I
Post
do.
a beetle.
All right. Well, then it's going to be naked Koreans. I hope I don't
Great.
get in trouble.
I can't wait.
There's going to be lots of naked Koreans on your page, I think.
I love them.
Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at KIRA Comedy. That's my Twitter. That's my Instagram.
KIRA Comedy.
That's my website.
It's everything.
Do websites still happen?
Sure.
Yeah, put a throw a .com on the end.
Ah!
Boom.
So we'll put that up.
Okay.
I'm so bad with that. Do you do the stories and all that stuff? The Instagram
You know,
stories?
a friend
I
of
can't
mine
keep
tried to
up
get
with
me
it.
into them. I don't have the time.
But
I
aren't we
don't-
supposed to do it? Isn't that our job these days? You're just going to the clubs, aren't
I'm
you?
still changing a diaper. So let me just get out of that part of my life, that phase, and then maybe I'll be able to add a new piece of information in my brain.
Yeah, where I take a photo in the middle of this.
She refuses. I mean, she's just
Is it really Nicole or was that a joke?
no.
Vladimir.
I just used her name.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. But I heard the Vladimir. I was hoping that was more of a middle name.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris is her first name. Ah!
All right. Is there anything else for us? We've definitely made the hour. I hope that you've enjoyed it.
I'm excited. We did the hour. I'm going to go get, and this is not a lie, my eyebrows and mustache taken care of right now.
Right after the taping.
Right after this.
All right. One, we don't
And-
see them. You look beautiful.
Well-
but two, that is an odd order.
I have to do it. It is time.
Right after the TV appearance.
I'm shooting a pilot on Friday.
Oh, great.
I'm flying to Chicago tomorrow.
Oh,
for
good
it.
for you.
Yeah,
Kudos.
I'm hosting a game show.
Get out.
Yay!
game
In Chicago?
show?
Yeah, they shoot stuff there all the time.
Well, I know, but a game show.
Yeah.
What's it going to be? We probably can't talk too much about
It's
it.
about TV trivia. You would love it.
That sounds
You would
amazing.
love it. Yeah, it's all TV trivia from the 50s to
It's the
know
only
to
kind I
today.
might get.
That's your jam. You'd be
I
so good.
know
I
it.
know.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm sure they've already picked the contestants.
I think they have. Yeah.
Ugh. Well,
Next
once
time.
it goes
Once
and
it
it goes to
gets
series,
Picked up. Yeah.
have your people give us a call.
Okay.
At the very least, we'll come hang out on the set.
Yeah.
Answer silently, playing
With
along.
scrubs.
Password. The board goes back. All right, and nothing for us, right? We've fulfilled we've answered all your questions, whatever you had for
do
us.
I need to ask questions?
No. But
Okay,
you did
any
before, and you have
Food
interesting.
allergies I should know about?
Mushrooms.
I have an EpiPen in my purse.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Ooh, high roller.
All right, we'll use it.
Big
after this.
spender. I used to, and then it was just kind of like, I'll just eat careful. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
This has been really fun.
I just
Kids
to
still can't
sit
figure out how we
where
know each other.
Sam Tripoli has sat in the past is a
Chris
huge
Farley,
honor.
and
Chris
it was
Farley's
Bill.
dead.
That's true. And,
But he sat
Bill
there.
Murray.
Oh, he
Bill
did.
Murray the first night.
These are Letterman's chairs.
Bill Murray
That's
the
right.
first night. Yeah. Robin
Okay.
Williams the second night.
A lot of dead people. Again, it's just.
Drew
Robin Williams, yeah,
Barrymore
that's right.
Still
Drew
danced on
Barrymore,
here with
sure.
no top, not dead.
Oh, that's right. Amazing.
You're amazing.
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
so much for being here. That was
My
really, really
pleasure.
fun. Mrs. Ryan, who do we have tomorrow?
My friend Todd.
Todd Turner?
Todd Turner. He's one of the guys that reminds me of you in a nice way of like didn't fall in line with the crap that when I was selling it. He's a super good guy.
All right, cool. Well, that's going to be tomorrow. And then Friday, we are up at Breakfast Club. So check it out. But we'll see you tomorrow in the meantime. Mrs. Ryan, I love you so much. KIRA Soltanovich, we love you so much. Did I do that
Aw,
right?
Thanks.
I hit
Yes.
the T and the soul. I got it both.
Just how much love is in this
We love you so
room.
much. We love everybody at home. Please love one another, and we will see you tomorrow.
Every day,